In today's video, we are fitting wheels and suspension to the GQ Patrol giveaway car. You are not going to want to miss this one.
I ain't never been the same, baby. You don't know why. I can clean up good for you. Oh, I know right from wrong. 'Cause I wanna make it so nasty. I'm $1 million, baby. Don't let me. Oh, hell no. You in my city for so damn long. But you still don't notice me. Sour next. Oh, VA next. Nothing next. Running up the check.
Now this video is brought to you by Superior Engineering, ROH Wheels and Hankook Tyres. I wouldn't have been able to make this video without those three sponsors. So make sure if you're in the market for any suspension gear, tyres or wheels, head over to their websites. I'll leave all three links down in the description down below. They've supported us to help make this build happen, so head over and support them. Make sure if you want a chance of winning this car, head over to my Patreon or head over to my website and buy some merch. Both of those links will be down below in the description. Let's get stuck into it. Alrighty, so I've had this huge stack of parts just sitting there waiting to get put onto the GQ Patrol giveaway build, and I've been eyeing off the Superior Engineering lift kit. As you can see, the L suspension is looking pretty rough, and Superior have actually hooked us up with their 3-inch lift kit that comes with absolutely everything you need, including their hybrid dropped radius arms, which I'm stoked about. Alright, this is everything we got for the rear suspension. So right here we've got the coils, we've got the 3-inch coils, Superior coils. Now you got to make sure with these, as you can see here, they're marked LH, the left hand, and this will be the right hand one. So they're actually, on the Nissan Patrols, they're different sizes between the left and the right, different heights. I'm not sure why that is, but it is what it is. If you put them the wrong way, the car will be on the left. So make sure if you put the coils in a Patrol, put them in the right way. Now over here we have the rear lower control arms. I've gone with the fixed lower control arms. They're a plus 15, I think. They're either a plus 10 or a plus 15, I'll check that. And they are to suit a 3-inch lift in these cars. When you lift the rear of the car, the angle of this will change and become greater, which will pull the diff underneath the car. So it's vital to extend these if you're lifting your car above sort of 2 inches. So yeah, that will just help correct the position of the rear diff. I've got the adjustable up control arms. Now with these, they are adjustable, so you can adjust them to correct your pinion angle of your rear diff. Because obviously when you lift the car, it just throws the diff all out of whack. So it's adjust them to bring the pinion angles of the rear diff back to how they should be. Now the adjustable rear panhard. Now like I was saying with the control arms and the radius arms at the front, obviously when you lift the car, the radius arms and the control arms are going to move the diffs backwards and forwards and rotate them. Also the panhard rod, this one connects your diff to your chassis on an angle sideways. So this will run from the point on your diff to the point on your chassis. Now obviously, again, as your car lifts up, this will pull your diff across sideways. So if you lifted your car 3 inches with the standard panhard rod, you will find that your diff will move across and your tyre will be sticking out on one side more than the other side. So yeah, you want to throw one of these in. I'll show you how we do it once we're on the car, but basically you want to adjust it to bring your diff back into the correct center of the car. So in this box here, I've got just some coil retainers, extended brake lines, stuff like that. Extended diff breather. Over here we have the Superior nitrogen gas shock absorbers. So yeah, they are to suit the 3-inch lift as well. Yeah, that's about it. That's enough talking. Let's get stuck in and throw the suspension in. Alrighty, now I lost a whole bunch of footage due to one of my SD cards being corrupted, which is not ideal. But basically we got both the rear coils in, we got the upper control arms in. Right here I'm just installing the rear panhard rod. Rightio, now it's time to throw the shocks in. So this is the standard rear lower control arm on the GQs, and this is the upgraded one. I don't know if you can see on camera, but this one here is way more thick, and it's probably, I reckon it's probably 3 or 4 times the weight of the original one. These standard ones, they're known for bending. So if you're doing any hardcore forward driving and you've got these on, they will bend. There's no question about it. It's just a matter of when. A lot of people, and what I've done in the past, when I was an apprentice and had no money, what you can do is just get angle, bit of steel angle, and weld them to the bottom of these, and that will strengthen them up a bit. So if you're on a budget and you want to strengthen these up, you can just weld a bit of angle on there to strengthen them up. But in saying that, there's nothing that will beat this. The Superior Engineering arms, there's just nothing that will beat them. They're made in Australia, and yeah, they're made out of real high quality material, super strong. You're never going to bend this. So yeah, we'll go ahead and throw these ones in. Righto, now that we have the back half of the suspension into the GQ, it looks absolutely sick. I can't wait to flex it out and see how she goes. Obviously we haven't got the engine and all the weight in the car, but it is sitting much higher. See, the top of my 31 is pretty much level with our quarter guard chop, so obviously it'll come back down once we've got some weight in it and a bigger tyre, but it is going to look absolutely sick. Now we're going to move on to putting the front in. I've just loosely mounted up the cross member, and we're going to just loosely bolt everything in, and then that way when it's time to put the gearbox back in, we can just drop it down, put the gearbox in and put everything back up. So yeah, I do have the drop boxes there, radius arm over here, so we're going to start on this side, throw that drop box up, put that radius arm in, and then yeah, we'll move on to the other side and then just start working through getting all the suspension into the front. Let's freaking go. Alright, so like I said, I've gone with the 3-inch lift kit from Superior Engineering. There is a couple of different style radius arms you can get with the kit. I've gone with the hybrid arms, which are these ones here. Now I've got a factory radius arm from the GQ Patrol sitting right here. So I'm just going to run through a couple of differences. Now, as you can see, this is where the radius arm mounts to the chassis of the car, and the factory ones on a Patrol are a longitudinal pin style. So basically that pin runs through a hole in the chassis, and then the diff's mounted here. Now, as you can probably tell, by this pin style mounted to the chassis, it actually limits the amount of flex you can get out of these radius arms. So it obviously gets to a point where this can't allow any more movement, and it'll stop. And also, if you want to put a lift kit in your car with a factory radius arm, you can go up to about 2 inches of lift with the factory radius arms. So this one here actually has offset bushes, which will correct the caster. So basically when you lift your car, the diff stays in the same spot and the chassis will move upwards. So that means as your radius arm goes like that, it will pull your diff backwards and rotate it over. So that's called your caster. So basically these are caster correction bushes that will, to a point, up to about 2 inches, will correct that caster. Now if you're going any more lift, which I am going with 3-inch, you can get drop boxes, which are these things here, which I'll talk about in a minute. You can get a drop box to suit this factory radius arm, which will basically, when you lift your car up, the drop box will bolt to your chassis, and it will just lower the point where the radius arm mounts to your chassis. There's a few pros and a few cons. Obviously, it's much cheaper to do it that way if you're on a budget, but yeah. Now, with the Superior hybrid arm that I've gone with, as you can see, it is a completely different style. This is the transverse bush style radius arm. Now, your Toyotas, like the 80 series, they actually come factory with this style of radius arm. It actually mounts with a bolt horizontally, which means you've pretty much got unlimited amount of movement this way. Now, obviously, the mounting point on the chassis will be different to the original style. So basically, these will bolt up under the chassis, and they have the mounting point for this style of radius arm. So yeah, I'm going to jump under. I'm going to pull out the factory radius arms out of the Patrol here, and we'll go ahead and install these radius arms. Let's get stuck in. Alrighty, now it's time to throw this big heavy bastard in. Alright, now the diff had to roll back for the other bolt to line up. So I've had to undo this radius arm just so I can allow this diff to roll over. So as I jack it up on this point here, it's rolling over. I think we've gone a bit too far, I'll just check. Yeah, we've gone too far, so I'll have to go back. Oh, I just hit my head on that. Alrighty, now for the front pan rod. Same thing with one at the back. I'm just going to make it slightly longer than the factory one, and then later on we'll be able to set the correct length. Alrighty, now these didn't come in the kit, but Superior have sent them to me as well. These are a tie rod and a drag link, the steering arms. So the steering arms that are factory on the GQ Patrols are like all the other arms, they're pretty weak. Now for now, I'm just going to set the length of this exactly the same as to the factory one. And then obviously later on when we get a wheel line, they will adjust these correctly. So yeah, we'll go ahead, unwrap this one and throw it in. Alright, there we have it. That's most of the suspension in the front. Obviously I've got a steering dampener here, but it attaches to the panhard and the drag link, and I don't have a steering, what's it called? A steering box which mounts there, and the drag link runs from there back to there, so we aren't able to mount up the steering dampener yet, but it is looking absolutely sick. Looks so clean. This is better suspension than I've had in any of my cars before, so I can't believe I'm actually giving this away to one of you guys. I can't wait to get those wheels on this thing and see what it looks like. But it is sitting nice at the moment, and my workshop looks like a bomb has hit it. So I'm just going to go through and tidy all this up, and tomorrow we're going to go and get these wheels fitted up. And then after that, once I've got the wheels fitted up, we might have to grab the forklift out, wheel the rig out there, and see what kind of flex we're working with. It is time to install the tyres and rims. Now the legends over at ROH Wheels I've actually sent us out a mad new set of wheels for this thing. So I'm absolutely stoked to get them on. You'll see what they look like in a minute. Now also Hankook have jumped on board and supplied some tyres for the rig. Now I've gone with the Hankook Dynapro MT2s in a 285/70 R17. I've run these tyres on previous cars before, such as my Colorado, and absolutely love them. They're definitely one of the most value for money mud terrain tyre on the market. So that's enough talking. I'm going to throw them in the big GU, I'm going to take them over, and Eddie's going to throw them on for us. So let's get stuff into that.
Castle Beats.
Alright, I'm just going to throw the front guards back on and maybe the grill, just so we can get an idea of what it's going to look like. It's looking absolutely sick at the minute. I'm going to wheel it out onto the concrete here, and we might do a little sneaky flex up with the forklift. Alrighty, there we have it. The wheels and suspension have been fitted and it looks absolutely sick. I'm stoked with how it turned out. I wasn't sure about the chrome wheels. I've never run chrome wheels before, but I think it looks mad with this color. I cannot wait to get it painted up. It is going to look sick. Alrighty, if you want a chance of winning this car and to help me build it, make sure you head over to my Patreon, link in description, and sign up today. Also, head over to trpn.com.au if you just want to buy some merchandise or an entry into winning the car. Cheers, thanks for watching.